Today, I'm revealing the double edge system, which is an in-play football betting strategy, designed to identify those specific moments where the market has emotionally overreacted to an early goal. I'll be breaking down the system step by step to ensure you can see exactly how we turn a trailing favorite into a high-value position. We are moving away from the comeback lottery and towards a disciplined, structural investment strategy. So, go put the kettle on and let's dive right in. To give you a quick idea of what the double edge system is all about, I will be showing you a real-life example at the end, and you will see how I managed to spot an opportunity to follow the system in this Real Madrid match and make a return of £183 by capturing a much higher price for an outcome that is typically priced around 1.14. That is where the value lies, but firstly, I want to break down the mechanics and give you a step-by-step of the system itself so you fully understand it. Before we look at the mechanics, we have to understand the structural mispricing hypothesis that makes this entire system possible. In the betting markets, the scoreboard changes instantly when a goal is scored, and public money reacts emotionally to that change by panic selling the favorite or overvaluing the underdog. However, the true quality gap between a top-tier side and a mid-table opponent does not disappear just because of a lucky deflection or a counter-attack goal. The edge we are exploiting is this temporary disconnect between performance reality and market perception. We use the double chance market to capture this overshoot while significantly compressing our directional risk. We aren't hoping for a miracle. We are being paid significantly more to back the same structural superiority that existed at kickoff. Once you understand that core logic, the actual execution becomes a matter of discipline, which starts with our research. Okay, so let's start with phase 1, which is pre-match qualification. This is the foundation where we identify teams with genuine structural superiority before a ball is even kicked. To do this properly, we use the Statto app and specifically look at the match winner prompt to shortlist our candidates. We are looking for very specific profiles, either strong favorites projected to win outright or teams that the software suggests for a double chance due to their clear superiority. This cuts out lots of the hard work with this sort of system. What this phase represents is our objective safety net. If a team isn't structurally superior pre-match, the system is invalid. This is a mistake I used to make myself, back when I was a casual bettor and would ignore pricing and value entirely, spending my Saturdays chasing massive accumulators on any team that felt like they should win. I used to fall into this trap constantly, thinking that a big-name team was enough of a reason to bet, but I was just bleeding my bankroll because I wasn't looking at the price. Pre-match, the double chance price on a favorite might be as low as 1.18 or 1.22, offering zero edge. We do not place any pre-match bet here. We are simply preparing our shortlist to exploit the variance that only happens once the game goes in play. By the way, if you like videos like this and want to see more on this subject, remember to click the like button. It tells YouTube to send you more of this kind of content. And while you're there, you should hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss a system or strategy video. Now this is important as we move into phase 2, which is the trigger condition. This is the moment where the scoreboard variance creates our opportunity, and we can look at a real-life example of Arsenal playing away at Brentford to see it in action. Pre-match, Statto projects Arsenal as a strong favourite with an outright win price of 1.60 and a double chance price of 1.22. We do nothing. But in the 24th minute, Brentford score on a counter-attack to make the score 1-0. The market reacts immediately, and suddenly the Arsenal double chance jumps from 1.22 to 1.85 or even above 2.00. The underlying quality gap between Arsenal and Brentford has not doubled in 20 minutes, but the price has. However, we have a strict deployment rule. We only activate this system if the favourite falls behind within the first 60 minutes. Because after that point, the time remaining shrinks significantly, the comeback probability compresses, and the market inefficiency begins to disappear. We need sufficient time for that structural superiority to assert itself on the pitch. By the way guys, if you want to skip all that manual research and find the best shortlist candidates instantly, the Statto app is a brilliant research accelerator. Instead of spending your afternoon hunting through league tables and match logs, you simply press the match winner prompt and let the artificial intelligence do the heavy lifting for you. It automates the entire qualification process, identifying the structurally superior teams in seconds so you can focus on the in-play execution. It is all about time saving and simplicity, ensuring you're always looking at the right games where the structural gap is widest. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. That leads us neatly to phase 3, which is the XG dominance rule. This is our non-negotiable data check that ensures the scoreboard is actually lying. Before we even consider an entry, we must confirm that the trailing favorite is winning the XG battle. They shouldn't just be level or slightly behind, they must be winning clearly. For example, if the score is 1-0 to Brentford at the 30-minute mark, but the XG is 0.95 for Arsenal and only 0.35 for Brentford, it tells us the performance reality is not reflected in the score. We check shots, which might be 7-2 in favour of Arsenal, and corners, which might be 5-1. I'm genuinely curious to know if you've ever found yourself backing a trailing favourite purely because of their name, only to realise later that they were actually being dominated and didn't have a single shot on target throughout the entire match. This data confirms that the scoreline is temporary variance, while the performance data shows structural superiority. If the favourite is behind on XG or creating low-quality speculative shots, we do not deploy the system. On top of that, we have phase 4, which is visual confirmation. Data alone is insufficient for a professional trader. We must pass the eye test to ensure the dominance is sustainable. We watch the match to confirm that the favourite is circulating possession calmly and creating overloads in wide areas rather than just hoofing desperate long balls. I learned this the hard way during my early years when I would let my emotions take over and enter a trade just because a team was due a goal, even if they looked completely rattled on the pitch. I used to ignore the body language of the players and the tactical setup of the underdog, which led to endless frustration and a depleting bankroll because I didn't have the discipline to wait for visual proof. Now, if the favourite looks composed and the underdog is defending deep under intense pressure, we move forward. If the favourite looks rattled or the underdog looks comfortable on the counter, we stand down. Dominance must be sustainable for us to risk our capital. Now this is important as we move into phase 5, which is entry and price discipline. Once the XG dominance and the visual test align, we enter the double chance market, backing the favourite or the draw. We are looking for that price between 1.90 and 2.10. Contrast this with the 1.22 price available at kickoff. You are now being paid nearly double the price for backing the same superior team, but with the added confirmation of live data. This is the heart of the edge. We are trading the market's emotional overreaction to a single goal event, which could have been a deflection or a set piece, against the structural reality of the 90-minute match. We are being paid significantly more for backing the same structural superiority that the market recognized before the first whistle. That brings us to phase 6, which is why double chance compresses your risk. We are not backing the favorite to win outright because that requires a full comeback and increases our directional variance. By using double chance, we win if the favorite equalizes and the game ends 1-1. We win if they equalize and then go on to win 2-1, and we win if they win 1-2. We only lose if the underdog maintains their lead and wins the match. Professional systems always prioritize win rate stability over chasing dramatic, high odds payouts. We are trading variance, not chasing miracles, and the double chance allows us to profit from the most likely recovery scenarios, while the market is still pricing in a potential defeat. Now we must discuss phase 7, which is trade management. Let's continue our Arsenal example. If Arsenal equalize in the 58th minute to make it 1-1, our double chance bet is now in a position of strong value. We then choose between two professional routes. Option A is the secure exit. If the match becomes chaotic or Brentford look dangerous on the counter, we cash out for a partial profit. Capital preservation is always the priority in professional trading. Option B is the aggressive hold. If Arsenal remain completely dominant and look likely to score again, we allow the bet to run to the final whistle because both the draw and the Arsenal win result in a full payout. This decision must be situational and based on the live data, never emotional. Now the final phase is understanding failure conditions and the reality of variance. The system loses if the favorite fails to equalize, receives a red card, or suffers a total tactical collapse where their dominance fades after the initial pressure. This is exactly why the XG dominance rule is mandatory. Without that structural superiority, this entire process becomes guesswork. Markets often overweight recent events like a single goal, but by combining pre-match intelligence with in-play validation, we transform that emotional overreaction into a structured opportunity. This system does not rely on hope. It relies on the fact that when underlying metrics show dominance by a trailing team, the market price often overshoots fair probability. We are trading variance, not miracles, and by following this disciplined execution, we give ourselves the best possible chance of long-term success. Have a look at this example here. The Real Madrid and the draw double chance was priced at just 1.14 at kickoff. The Statto app had profiled Real Madrid as being a strong favourite, and I would expect them to win this match comfortably. And by the 14th minute, an opportunity for the double edge system has presented itself. Benfica taking a surprise early lead. And now, look at the price for the Real Madrid double chance. It is 1.83 and precisely within my price range. So I back Real Madrid on the double chance with £100. Remember, we don't need Madrid to win, just to avoid losing in order to profit. Anyway, just a few minutes later, and Real Madrid equalised to make the score 1-1, perfect timing. And you can see the status of our bets here. I monitored the match to see if there was any need to cash the bet out, but I didn't see any reason to. And the match ended in a 2-1 win for Real Madrid. A very comfortable win for the double edge system, and you should be able to find opportunities like this every day if you want to follow this system. It is also worth noting that this is an example of how you need to move fast to capture the opportunity. Strong favourites often equalise very quickly. Like I said earlier guys, hours of manual research and monitoring are no longer necessary if you want to professionalise your approach. The Statto app is the ultimate tool for finding these double edge opportunities because the match winner prompt identifies the structural gap for you before the game even starts. It provides incredible speed and efficiency, allowing you to focus on the in-play XG and the visual test, while the artificial intelligence handles the heavy lifting of data analysis. It is a serious professional advantage and a total game changer for anyone who wants to stop the emotional gamble and start trading scoreboard variance with a real edge. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen right now to get started. It is a serious professional advantage and a total game changer for anyone who wants to stop the emotional gamble and start investing properly. We hope this deep dive into the double edge system has shown you that a data-driven strategy is the only way to find a real edge in the in-play markets. When you stop reacting to the scoreboard and start following a rule-based validation plan, the results will follow. Thank you so much for watching and for your time today. Remember to hit that like button, it tells YouTube to show you more of this kind of content. As always, the learning shouldn't stop here. There is actually another video on the screen right now that I think you'll find very useful if you want to keep building your knowledge and sharpening your edge. Go ahead and click that, and I'll see you over there.